it's really, once you get into the city limits, it immediately changes. And I would like to see maybe some police officers on bikes out on the trail, addressing, I mean, I understand homelessness, and probably know a few people who are living down there, but, you know, you gotta make it safe, gotta clean it up a little more, come on. It's something, we're such a tri-state, we got one little river that comes through the valley, let's clean it up, let's make it so people can really enjoy it, you know. It's not being used that way anymore. Anybody from Rose Park, Pear Park, here, West Point, everybody who uses that trail knows what's going on. If you're not using it, everybody's complaining about it. Security, can we do something?
Joseph, have we met before?
Possibly.
I think we have. Thanks. And this brings up part of what I meant to say to Sandel's question about homelessness. There's a lot of stuff going on. There'll be a press release going out tomorrow morning that will illustrate some things that I won't take your time tonight to get into, but you can read about it tomorrow. Salt Lake City has been the best partner that the state of Utah has had in addressing homelessness forever. And we currently, on a winter's night, have 853 beds in Salt Lake City, and there's 1,500 beds in the whole system. We have the majority of services, and we want to continue to be where people can get help. Hang on, Gina, I got a lot to say here. Salt Lake City also is the place where other cities bring people who are experiencing homelessness. And I've had mayors and council members from across the state look me in the eye with the tone of compassion and say, yeah, if we see someone experiencing homelessness in our city, we put them in the back of the cop car and take them down to Pioneer Park. We drop them off in Salt Lake City because that's where the services are. Well, guess what? I don't get a single dollar at Salt Lake City to help the people on the street who need help. So we, the city residents, $15 million a year supporting homeless services and outreach in Salt Lake City. We have a majority of beds. We're 17% of the population in Salt Lake County. Just the county, we're 17%. We can't keep doing this, and so on August 5th, last month, I announced some of the needs we have in order to continue to be a good partner, which is these 300 emergency shelter beds that the Coalition to End Homelessness announced a month ago. They can't all be in Salt Lake City. They need to be in other parts of the county as well. Salt Lake City needs guaranteed mitigation funding. South Salt Lake and Midvale are guaranteed hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to pay for police officers, basically, to help maintain the quality of life around the homeless resource centers that they have. Salt Lake City's guaranteed $0. We have to compete with anybody else in the state who feels like they need mitigation support. $0. The other things that we need are the state to step up with the county and create the permanent supportive housing needs that there are. There's 400, we know right now we need 450 front doors to permanent supportive housing. If we could snap our fingers, we could fill them with the people who need them today. So that's a growing number over the course of time. We need the state and the county to step up on that. And what I also announced on August 5th was that the days leading up to that, we started doing enhanced enforcement of our camping ordinance. What do I mean by that? Well, we've had an ordinance on the books since the 60s that says you can't pitch a tent and sleep wherever you want on public property, be it the Jordan River or this park or a park strip in front of your house. But we haven't enforced it in Salt Lake City primarily for most of those years. So we, back at the end of July, early August, started enforcing on these intense encampments and saying you can't be here, we don't want to cite you. The answer to homelessness isn't putting people in jail, but the convenience of being able to do it here is a dramatic contrast to those other cities across the state and around our city who have said time and time again, zero tolerance policy for people camping, zero tolerance policy for individuals experiencing homelessness. They're all getting in the car and going to Salt Lake City. We're not going to do it. We can't keep doing this. So the enhanced camping enforcement will become camping enforcement when we have those 300 emergency shelter beds. I've got to be able to genuinely look you in the eye and say, I don't want to give you a ticket for camping. Shelter bed available for you. I've got this van here. You can take your stuff. You can keep your stuff in a secure location. Please come into shelter. So that's not our job as a city. That's the the Salt Lake Valley Coalition to End Homelessness, Salt Lake County and the state.
I don't think you're ever going to solve it. There are too many people.
It's a balancing act.
There's too many problems. With the COVID, Black Lives Matters, you guys have got their hands full up too. I understand that. Everybody talks about homeless, but nobody wants to put money into it. Like I said, getting the homeless off the street, that is the thing. Nobody wants to live on the street, but there are those who have substance abuse problems, and mental problems is another big problem. And
do you think that's the city's problem?
Big time. Well, we never solved this, so can we at least have some kind of balance where people can at least feel safe to get out and recreate and these parks and such. I
the balance is what I'm trying to get at.
You are up against a huge wall, and
what are you suggesting we do, Joseph?
It's Jeff.
Jeff. Medina.
Yes, that's
Right.
correct.
I got one of them.
Okay. My suggestion is you're doing the right things, but there's not enough of it. There's the right ideas. Everybody has good ideas in that, and there's just not enough resources. It's just. I don't know.
So more enforcement, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, more investment, and I don't even know if that's going to help.
Jeff, I would disagree that Salt Lake City necessarily needs to invest more. Did you know that the state of Utah has hundreds of millions of dollars, and they
won't do anything up on the hill. The hill
Jeff,
won't let you
Can I finish? Hundreds of $1 million that are homeless services specific from the federal government through the American Rescue Plan. The American Rescue Plan dollars that Biden pushed through. And cities got some, counties got some, the state got a ton. And there is a portion of that giant chunk of money they got that is specifically required to be spent on homeless services. Then the county got some, and it's a whole lot more by multiples than Salt Lake City got. And what we have, we don't have to invest in homeless services, but the plan I'm giving to the city council still does. So we are still putting our butts on the line. And Salt Lake City's invested more in affordable housing than the entire state of Utah most years. The entire state of Utah. So I don't think it's necessarily that we aren't investing enough as a city. I also don't think any city's duty is mental health support for anyone who comes into the city. That is a duty of the state or the county health department. And they have a 2023 mental health facility that is opening in South Salt Lake through the Huntsman Institute in 2023. And the fourth, I told you 3 and I skipped the fourth ask from August 5th. The fourth is that the state and the county fund a bridge facility until the 2023 is open. Because putting someone with a mental health need or who's in mental health crisis in jail is not going to fix anything. No, we all know that. But there is no option right now until 2023. So that fourth ask is that they use some of those dollars that are earmarked for just these kind of things to give us somewhere that can actually help people that isn't a jail or the Jordan River. Because according to both national and local service providers, about 70% of the people on the street have mental health needs. And many of those people are self-medicating. And, this isn't news to you. But you're absolutely right. The mental health component has to be addressed. I just disagree with you that it's the duty of the city to pay for that when the rest of the state has been shirking their duties.
So I guess we need to start voting for the guy with the D behind the government, as the governor, instead of the other way around. Thank you.
I will not trespass into gubernatorial elections just yet.
One or two quick questions.
Did my family leave?
Anybody else have a question?
Oh yeah, they left. I brought you, I didn't know so many people would be here. I brought you some flag stickers, and Josh can bring some more to a community council meeting next time. And before the last question, did you know we have a new flag? It has a sago lily on it, and we did a design competition last year, and got like 650 designs submitted, and we hid who the person was or where they lived or how old they were. We just selected the design, put them back out to the community and picked about 10. You all picked about 10. Then we whittled it down to this, which is a combination of 2 designs. And when we unveiled who would design them, it was 2 teenage girls from Salt Lake City. And I think that's so cool that they're the future of the city and they design flags. So I think of it like Salt Lake or snow and sky when it's not an inversion day. And the sago lily is older than the state of Utah, even though it's our state flower. Our indigenous tribes would eat the roots of the sago lily for centuries. So anyway, grab a sticker if you want one. I'll leave them up here. Last question. None? We're done?
Well, we'd like to thank her. Let's give her a round of
I still haven't had taco though.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Like I said, the next community council meeting will probably be a virtual one, so watch the website, West Point Community Council, for the location and the link to get to